driver takes her time, focused on catching a Pokemon. According to her cell phone, it's right in front of her. In her eyes, the park ahead isn't a playground, it's a Pokestop. The sidewalk isn't enough to block her determination. Over the curb and into the park she goes. Total disregard for the young children watching it all go down.
You can kill somebody by doing that.
Which is why the neighbors want this video on 13 Action News to show just how out of hand the Pokemon craze has become.
I'm afraid my kids are in danger.
The car sits for a few seconds before backing out and leaving the neighborhood.
Out of control.
In a matter of 20 seconds, the driver breaks at least 2 laws: driving on a public sidewalk and driving while distracted.
My kids play it and they said it's fun, but I think if you're driving or in a vehicle, you definitely shouldn't be playing it.
None of the neighbors got a good shot of the car's license plate, so they're not going to get the police involved. Not this time, at least.
I'm not in favor of those Pokemon.
A Pennsylvania man has been accused of stealing a brain after said brain was found beneath a porch where it was kept inside a Walmart shopping bag. It even had a name, Freddy. Police say the name was given to the brain by Joshua Lee Long, who is already incarcerated by Cumberland County in connection with a string of burglaries in Pennsylvania, according to the Sentinel. Cumberland County Coroner Charlie Hall has confirmed the brain as belonging to an adult human. At this point now, we're just trying to figure out where it came from, he said. We hope that if anyone feels like they're missing a human specimen brain, bring it to our attention and maybe we could return it to its rightful owner. So the real question is, why did he steal the brain in the first place? Well, it turns out he used it to get high. Of course he did. Did we really think these to be the actions of a sober man? Trooper John Boardman, an investigator involved with the case, wrote in court documents the defendant related that he knew it was illegal to have the brain and that he and another man would spray the embalming fluid on weed to get high. While authorities have encountered formaldehyde-laced marijuana before, using a dead person's brain for drug purposes shocked some investigators. So if you or someone you know has lost your brain, please let the authorities know. Oh, what a time to be alive.
Hey! Holy sh**! That deer just whooped your ass, boy. Einstein, come back! Einstein, come back!
Weird stuff out here in Bluffdale this afternoon. I'm actually standing next to that infamous sewer where that weird green foam came spewing out earlier this afternoon. Neighbors say it just kept getting bigger and bigger. No one seemed to know what it was or whether or not it was dangerous. But tonight, we have some answers.
When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are we going to call? In this case, the Salt Lake County Health Department.
So we got a report that there was a green foam bubbling up out of a storm drain here in Bluffdale. We sent some environmental health scientists out, our emergency response team, to take a look.
Neighbor Tara Dahl says she could see the foam from almost a block away. She wanted to run, but instead moved in for a closer look.
I was amused by it, so I just kept getting closer to kind of examine to see what it was.
Did you think about touching it?
No. I don't want that stuff on me. I don't know what it is.
Firefighters felt the exact same way, wearing masks and gloves as they hosed the green substance back down the sewer. The source of the foam is the nearby Welby Canal, which is connected to the Jordan River, which is connected to Utah Lake. And Utah Lake is plagued by toxic algae.
It's certainly possible that the water in the Welby Canal here does have some of that particular harmful algae that produces toxins in it.
Families living near the canal are taking adequate precautions.
But my wife usually has let our dogs swim in it, and we're not doing that, you know, because we've heard there are some issues, but I'm still using the water in my yard.
The county says most likely the foam is not algae related. They say the canal recently underwent a moss removal process, and they believe that's the real cause. Algae or no algae, Tara is going to keep an eye on that sewer grate. just in case the green blob returns for a sequel.
Were you afraid it was going to attack you at any point?
No, not really. I think that's more Ghostbuster stuff.
Now, just to be 100% positive that that foam is not toxic algae, the county did conduct some tests today, and they expect to get those results back at some point tomorrow, but they're pretty certain that that foam was not dangerous.
Called the Tree Awakening. I'm just trying to help people to see the forest with the trees. People are so busy they don't get to stop and smell the roses. Right here in the tree, my man. Oh, shit! The man inside of the tree, man, is Lonell Powell, and he is 57 years old. I am an artist. I am a teacher. I travel all around the world, but I do plant my roots here in Venice. I'm here representing human nature and all of nature. The plants and the flowers and the bushes. Yay! And the hummingbirds. You hear it? We're all reflections of one another, reflections of nature. If there was one person that was thinking sad thoughts, they just needed a sign to go on. I hope that I'm that sign. It's a spiritual thing. If I can do that without any money for the rest of my life, I would do that.
Your cupcake now. Oh my god, that's crazy. Ooh, it was all like slimy when you did that.
47 years old and 13 foot long, this is Gwendolyn the alligator. To David, the reptile is more pet than predator.
There we go.
Raised on a hardly nutritious diet,
I want some cookies.
the pair have lived together for almost 5 decades.
Chips Ahoy. Look, Chips Ahoy, your favorite.
And Gwen is even allowed inside the house.
Once he was in the house, he didn't want to leave. I think it took us like 3 weeks to get him to go back outside. He was on the couch all the time or in the bathtub.
In the 1990s, David won a court case to be allowed to keep Gwendolyn.
Now we're excited. Now you like that, huh?
But now the authorities say the pet has outgrown its backyard home.
Once we received the complaint about the alligator in the backyard, we started our investigation. Unfortunately, Gwendolyn the alligator is not in the proper caging that it's supposed to be.
Last month, a 2-year-old boy was grabbed and killed by an alligator in front of his family at Disney World Orlando. His death a reminder of the potential dangers alligators can pose to humans. Gwen's fate is now in the hands of the authorities. David says he'll fight to keep his pet where it belongs, at home.
You ready for some more cookies? Look at that.
firestorm last night at Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within event, where more than 7,000 people walked across hot coals.
The fire walk is just a piece about, overcoming your fears.
Yeah, people who drink the Kool-Aid focus on mind over matter as they take a walk on the wild side. That is, until someone holds things up by trying to get a selfie.
I get them in state. They start to take a step, and they're pulling their cell phone out of their pocket because they want to take a photo or a video of themselves so that they can post on Facebook.
But whether it was a selfie or something else, something went wrong Thursday night. Dallas Fire and Rescue showed up, and at least 5 people were taken to the hospital. Reportedly, up to 30 others were also injured. Shinki insists there were no severe burns. And in his 20 years of firewalking, no one has gotten more than a sunburn. Turns out, there's a Firewalking Institute of Research and Education here in DFW. And we went to check out this hot spot.
It's supposed to feel like walking on cool popcorn. That crunchy, crunchy feeling when you're walking on cool popcorn. Now, don't get me wrong. These are 800 to 1200 degree hot coals that you're walking on.
Monica Steiner has taken more than 600 fire walks and says to walk on fire, you have to be in the right state of mind.
If somebody was taking a selfie, if somebody was that distracted, they were not ready to walk.
Well, it looks like things have cooled off at the convention center, and the trainers at Tony Robbins say last night's rescue looked a lot worse than what it was.
No, there were not big mass casualties.
Parts of Virginia and West Virginia, though, are under a state of emergency this morning because of severe flooding. Take a look at this video. At least one person has died and dozens of homes have been damaged or destroyed. And officials say one river could crest at a record high later today. Police are going door to door telling people to get to higher ground. And one dramatic video shows a house engulfed in flames floating down a river in West Virginia. Look at this. All this happening as stunned bystanders just watch.
Tabarnak, man. Whoa!
The folks at Wasabi Japanese Steakhouse in Murfreesboro say, along with dinner,
fire's coming.
Diners get a show. But now one diner says last night she thinks the cooks here showed a little too much of the little guy in the cook's hand.
Like they hold the water, just like that.
Here's a closer look.
You hold the side, and then push up, so water come out.
A plastic toy that sprays water made to look like the figure is urinating when its toy pants are lowered. Last night at dinner, Wasabi Restaurant admits one of the chefs shot some of the water in the face of one of its customers.
It peed on me, basically.
It shot water out of its penis. How's that?
Out of its wee-wee area.
Isabel and James Lassiter,
does that make sense?
Here on a job from Texas, say they were mortified when the chef essentially made the toy urinate water on Isabel.
In front of our minor children and grandchildren.
It really didn't have a wiener, but you got the point.
They were so upset they even called the police, citing assault.
It was a sexual style assault on my wife.
Police also noted the doll wasn't, well, anatomically correct. But Isabel and James say that doesn't matter.
I mean, just because it didn't have a weenie.
Just because somebody may cut off that little piece of plastic to say, okay, it's not there anymore, doesn't change the fact that you're getting peed on.
Yeah, I really.
The general manager, Johnny Huang,
I apologize.
Says he apologizes to the family and that he's never had any complaints about the toy before.
And the kid like it. They pay the water, they think just a water gun, kind of like a water gun, you know.
But now he says chefs will at least ask permission before showing more of the toy boy again.